My brothers and sisters, you are now watching the Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video. I feel like there is a rant in order. I don't rant too often, you know, I like to stay in my own lane, but sometimes you just gotta express yourself. So I feel like expressing myself today. The main game I'm going to be talking about in this video is Halo 4, but also I'm going to be talking about other games. I guess the core of this video is really just today's multiplayer games in general, okay? Let's just get straight into it. Is Halo 4 dead? Is Halo dead? Like, is Halo dead, or is it dying? Or is it just slowly starting to cater to casuals? And that's one of the tweets I left on Twitter. I think the thing I said was, I swear, it seems like every multiplayer game that I used to love playing is either dead, dying, or is now slowly starting to cater to casuals. And Halo 4 falls somewhere in there. Like, this game, Halo has never been the same since Halo 3. Halo 3 was the last Halo that actually felt like a Halo game, like, and I couldn't really appreciate Halo 3 at the time because it came after Halo 2, and I don't care what no one says, Halo 2 was the best Halo out of the entire franchise, and arguably the best online game I've ever played. So I couldn't really appreciate Halo 3 at the time, but now when I look at it, Halo 3 was the last great Halo. Ever since Halo 3, Halo has never been the same. And all I'm saying is there is something wrong with the picture that Halo 4 hasn't even been out 5 months. It came out in November, so November, December, it's been out like 3 months, okay? There's something wrong with the picture that a game that hasn't even been out half a year yet, you already have people talking about Halo 5. Like, people are looking forward to Halo 5. You never want someone looking forward to the next game. That just pretty much says that the game that is out currently sucks, okay? And I'm not saying that Halo 4 sucks. Just like I said in my review, Halo 4 is a must-buy game because it's exclusively on Xbox 360. And let's be honest, 360 doesn't have a lot of exclusives. So Halo 4 is still a great game. You know, if you have a 360, I still consider this game a must-buy game. But Halo has always been a game that one of the reasons why it's so popular is because of the online. And 343 Industries, this is their first Halo game, and some people say that they suck, that 343 just killed Halo. Some people say that, you know, they are doing their best. I feel like they're doing their best, but I don't think that they knew what they were getting themselves into, like how big the community of Halo is. Like, after Bungie pretty much stopped doing Halos, people weren't sure what direction Halo was taking, and then 343 took over, and I just don't feel like they knew what they were getting themselves into. Before Halo 4 even came out, people were telling 343 what they wanted in the game. Really, the only thing I wanted in Halo 4 was great maps, great playlists, and a freaking ranking system. I think a ranking system in Halo is so important. It's almost like building something without legs if it doesn't have a ranking system. Like, it just can't stand. Like, the ranking system in Halo is basically Halo's legs. Like, right now, Halo is crawling because it doesn't have a ranking system. And they do announce that a ranking system will be out in April. The problem with it is that the ranking system will not be in-game. So how in Halo 2 and Halo 3, where you could see what rank you were in-game, you know, if you were rank, you know, whatever, 30 or whatever, you could see it in-game. They are saying that you will only be able to see your ranking system on HaloWaypoint.com. So every time you want to see what rank you are, you'll have to go to that website. And I just don't see why they can't do it the exact same way that Bungie did it, where it was in-game and online. Like, I just don't. It's like we asked for something they give it to us, but then just to mess with us, they're like, oh yeah, you can only see it on. Like, it's just like, why? Like, just put it in game too. So, but I guess I have to be grateful. There is a ranking system coming, but Halo 4 still has terrible playlists. Very few good maps. The only map that is honestly even playable, I'd say, is Adrift, Abandoned, and Haven, which is pretty much my favorite map, but because people vote for it so much, I get so tired of playing on Haven. The best thing that 343 has done so far is add in that Community Forge playlist where, you know, you have those little freaking Forge maps like Lockout. That's pretty much my favorite playlist right now. This game has terrible playlists. Infinity Slayer, I don't like it anymore. I don't like Infinity Slayer anymore. I don't like to see where the power weapons are. I just don't like it. Big Team, Infinity Slayer, Dominion, I kind of like that. Regicide, Flood, irrelevant. I don't play Flood. Freaking Capture the Flag, Oddball. I wish they could have it to how it was in Halo freaking 2, where it was called Team Objective, and then you had Oddball in there. Capture the Flag, King of the Hill. Don't make it separate playlists. Like, that's just taking up space. Team Regicide, I like that. SWAT, like that. The Community Force playlist, I like that too. And Crimson DLC, which has like an amount of 15 people playing that junk daily. No one plays that. Like, this game needs better playlists, better maps, and the ranking system, which is coming, but isn't really what we asked for. And I just feel like what Halo, the direction that Halo is taking is kind of starting to remind me of a game that I used to know and love, SOCOM. Quick story if you don't know about SOCOM. SOCOM was a game that made its mark on PlayStation 2. SOCOM was a very popular game on PlayStation 2, SOCOM 1 and 2. And then some people say that after SOCOM 2 that SOCOM died. SOCOM 3 still felt like SOCOM. SOCOM Combined Assault still felt like SOCOM. When SOCOM Confrontation came out, that's when SOCOM just didn't feel like SOCOM anymore. And then people were like, okay, once SOCOM 4 comes out, it'll revive SOCOM because it's made by the original developers of SOCOM, which is Zipper. SOCOM 4 comes out. This game is worse than SOCOM Confrontation. I couldn't understand why. Like, it was made by the original developers that made SOCOM 1 and 2. How could SOCOM 4 change up so much that it didn't even feel like SOCOM anymore? SOCOM 4 was not even a SOCOM game in my opinion. I don't know what that game was, but it was so bad and so badly received from the fans of SOCOM that it just never attracted SOCOM players. And you know, Zipper is now done. Zipper is dead. They don't make SOCOM games anymore. I don't know if the people at Zipper work at Burger King for what I know. They don't have jobs anymore, okay? So SOCOM, it changed up so much from what it originally was that it's now dead. And I think the perspective a lot of developers take is that, and I like to call it the Call of Duty effect, is because they see that Call of Duty comes out every year. It's pretty much the most casual game to play. It's the easiest game that you can get into, you know. And they see that Call of Duty is making all this money year by year by year. And the developers, they want a piece of that. They want to make money too, you know. They don't just make games to make games. They make games to make money. It's their income. So they see that Call of Duty is making all this money and they decide, screw it. Let's make our game more casual. Let's make it easier for people to get into. The problem with this is, though, you cannot change up your game so much to the point where it doesn't even feel like how it used to feel like. And I kind of feel like that's the direction that Halo is going in. Halo 4 doesn't feel like Halo. It doesn't feel like Halo. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. And I fear that it's taking the same direction that SOCOM did. I hope Halo is something that is just not dropped and it's never made again. But it's kind of reminding me of the direction that SOCOM went. SOCOM changed up so much that Zipper lost their freaking Zipper is done. Like, they don't make SOCOM no more. They're not even a studio no more. So It's just that, and games like SOCOM, Gears of War, Gears 1 was pretty much the glory days of Gears. After Gears 1, people didn't like Gears 2 because it had a lot of glitches, and Gears 3 is probably the most casual Gears game out there. And you know, then Uncharted 2. I loved Uncharted 2 online. Uncharted 3 comes out. They decide to add kickbacks, which is basically kill streaks. Even Uncharted 3 online is more casual. Resistance 1. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Resistance 1 on PS3, that game online was great. Then Resistance 2 came out, and then Resistance 3, even Resistance 3 has perks now. You see all these developers doing something that Call of Duty does. And it's just that it's not, it will, just because it works for Call of Duty, it doesn't mean it's going to work for your game. Call of Duty has always been what Call of Duty is. Call of Duty has never changed. It's always been a game that, you know, Call of Duty 4, that's my favorite Call of Duty. You know, the gameplay for Call of Duty is still the same. Call of Duty 4 had kill streaks. These Call of Duty todays have kill streaks. The only difference with Call of Duty 4, the reason why I enjoyed that so much is because it didn't have all these, like these Call of Duty today have like 800 perks and freaking kill streaks. Now Call of Duty 4 just did just enough, but it always was Call of Duty. It always stuck to what it was. And I just feel like these games these days aren't sticking to what they are. Halo is not sticking to what Halo is. SOCOM, that's done. Gears of War isn't sticking to what Gears is. Uncharted 2 was great online. I don't like Uncharted 3 online, you know. Resistance, no one, that's freaking irrelevant. Like, who plays that game online? It's just that the casualization of video games era is here. Like, every game that I used to love playing online is now starting to become more and more casual. And Halo 4, I still play this game. But I'm not sure what direction this game is taking. When you already have people talking about Halo 5, there is something wrong with that picture. That's all I'm saying. That's all I have to say. You guys leave your thoughts or comments. Why does it seem like every multiplayer game is becoming casual? Is it because of Call of Duty? Is it Call of Duty's fault? Leave your thoughts or comments or a vid response, all that jazz. But it's just something I felt like I really had to rant about, because there really isn't any multiplayer game these days that I truly enjoy playing. Like, there just isn't, you know. But saying that, as always, I greatly appreciate if you rate the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up. It could be a thumbs down. But what I do, ask every brother and every sweet. I'm not even in the mood to do it. But see y'all in my next video, alright?